Hello folks, welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party and another MMO series that I'll be probably doing for a while. Same kind of thing, I don't know if I'm going to be maxing out or whatever, and I'm not like just starting off, just because, you know, kind of boring when you start off in MMOs, honestly. But I got up to level 12 and I figure, alright, I'll start recording this. Obviously, Elder Scrolls Online. I have an Argonian Sorcerer. He's looking pretty baller. Let's go ahead and just start playing and killing stuff, and I'll kind of talk about some of the mechanics in the game, talk about stuff that I like, talk about stuff that makes me want to put my fist to my monitor, etc., etc. Right now, the quest we have, as you can tell from the top right, we need to free Dithis Ramori, hint defeat Chieftain Crimstall. Apparently, I guess from that quest, my understanding is somebody got turned into a goblin, and somehow we have to kill this thing to make that revert. I don't know. But first off, as you probably notice, again, YouTube's gonna poop on the quality a little bit, but the game actually does look pretty darn good. I play this game in beta. Usually, MMOs are a love that I just can't get rid of. I keep coming back to them. I just can't quit them. Ooh, found a backpack. Oh, and a recipe. My God. Let me use that now, if I don't have it already. Nice. It's like probably one of the only recipes I've actually found in the game, and that's one of the things I was going to complain about. You knew too much game. Anyway, MMOs are just one of those things I can't stop playing. I always go back to MMOs, and I love the beginning of an MMO. When an MMO first comes out, I always find that interesting. I like to be there when everything starts. Oh, right, there we have another quest. Here. This has nothing to do with the one that I've got selected, but Black Arrow means they have different meanings. I think Black Arrow means either A, it's a quest you don't have yet, like a quest giver that can give you a quest, or it's like a quest related, or you have the quest but it's not your current tracked quest, if that makes sense. So because this quest, I have it, but I haven't picked it up yet. It's showing as black. Books you want to read. Now you don't have to like read them, but you want to open them and then at least close them, because a lot of times you can get skill points, experience, things of that nature. And if you're a big Elder Scrolls person, there's a lot of lore and backstory and stuff to read. Now, I do appreciate that they, took the time to put that in there, but when I play an MMO, I have like a different mindset. Like I just kind of want to play and level and progress, as opposed to a single player RPG where I'm like, take my time, soak it all in. I don't know. It's a different mindset, and that's just me personally. But anyway, so yeah, I played this back in beta. Like I say, I love MMOs. I keep coming back to them. I like to play them when they first came out. And even when this, oh, hello. Let's go ahead and get our pet out. Probably should have done that earlier. Want to get out of that red. That's not good. Red is dead. We'll talk about my spells and whatnot. We got plenty of time to get all that stuff sorted here. We're gonna loot him. Oh, nice. Battle Axe of Frost. I'm sure that'll be great to settle a vendor or break apart for items. We're going to kill this person here. Actually, there's a few, I think. Nice. Summon Storm Astronaut can now be morphed. Ah, okay, we'll go over that too in a bit. All this stuff popping up. But anyway, what I was trying to say was I wasn't really that hyped about this game when it was first announced. I just thought, Elder Scrolls Online, I don't think it's going to be good. I played in the beta, and I found it to be incredibly boring. To the point that I didn't buy it on release to play in the initial rush, which says a lot, because even if there's an MMO I'm only vaguely interested in, I usually will buy it at launch. So that was pretty damning. But I played it again like a month ago. They had like a free weekend. And I was like, what the heck, I'll give it another shot. And I liked it. I quite enjoyed it. So I bought it because it was like on sale. Oh, probably should free this guy. He's like, excuse me,
not
sir.
With the tribe, are you? This was just showing me how the spell works. Then the Shadow Silk tribe jumped us. They carried me off as a tribute for Grimstall. Enough talk. Get me out of here.
Okay. And I'm not going to be listening to all the quest stuff, but I did want to show you it's all voice acted. Thank you very much for that. I really dislike, like I'm completely ruined on now quests that are not voice acted drive me insane now. What? Ooh, 17. Oh, that's a player. Damn. I was like, man, what's that guy doing here? Looks like there's a quest over here too, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it while we over here.
Remember, wine comes in bottles, round in bottles.
Oh, this is the guy we were grabbing the wine for.
Can't thank the three, all three of them. This wine's perfect for selling to other people. You are my new and bestest friend. If you ever have need.
All right. But yeah, I played it again. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty fun. And I'm actually playing this character. There's only one server. I'm playing on PC. I know that consoles, it just came out on consoles. That's one of the other reasons I wanted to play it, was because I know it just came out on consoles. So I figured people would be interested in seeing the game, see if it's worth picking up. So I figured I'd show you. Even if I am playing on PC, I don't think there's major differences. The big thing though is none of the platforms can play with each other. So Xbox One can't play with PS4, which can't play with PC, which kind of sucks, but is what it is.
And Deethus has returned. I hope these two have learned from their mistakes. Spellcrafting is not to be taken lightly. Like a goblin's heart, apparently.
Nice. Alright, so and again, like I said, we'll be covering some of the mechanics of the game as we go along. To try to cover it all at once would be like several videos of me just talking and not doing things. So we'll kind of cover it as we go along. Let's check our inventory. Let's see what we can do. A red obviously means I can't wear it because it's too high level. So, actually it's not bad. I'm trying to stick with light armor. One cool thing about this game is you do have classes, so you are restricted in that sense. But beyond that, I can use any weapon or any armor. I'm a sorcerer. I could use full plate and a two-handed axe if I wanted to. In fact, I was using a two-handed axe for a while just for funsies, but it just didn't really work out. I could see it working with like a bow and arrow. Now that would be kind of interesting, but there's not really. So far, I've not seen any synergies to make something like that work. Just to say bonus damage to melee. There is a little bit actually. I take that back. There's one ability I get which makes me turn into lightning form and makes me do AE damage. That could be handy with the two-handed axe attacks, obviously. But I think probably most people are going to still kind of fit into the standard. Oh, if you're a caster, you wear light armor. If you're a tank or you're melee, you're going to be wearing medium or heavy armor. Medium armor, by the way, gives you extra mana regen. And I think medium armor is extra stamina regen. And then heavy armor gives more obviously heavy armor, but it also gives you extra health when you get healed, which is interesting. And you can mix and match too. You could wear like a plate helm with everything else light, or whatever. So anyway, we're not gonna really see this. Let me look at this a whole lot. Medium. I'm trying to stick with light armor right now, just because mana's nice to have. I'm also keeping my staff because it has a nice lightning attack. So what other quests do we have? That is a group quest. I'll probably actually go ahead and get that. I need to go talk to that person though. So let's do this. I'll go talk to this person. Now here's how the travel system works. You have these way shrines. Now you can use the way shrine, and let's say I need to go over here to talk to this person, and here's the closest way shrine. So I'm gonna travel on over. Or you can travel to way shrines that you have already found from anywhere. However, it costs money. So, for example, if I'm just standing here, and we'll pretend that way shrine's not close by, if I can click on any of these other way shrines, but you can see it costs 71 crowns or whatever money in order to travel there. The prices change. I don't know if it's entirely level based or if it's. I think also it's time based. So if I use one and then try to use another one a minute later, I think the price is more expensive until it drops down to like a certain cutoff point. I think that's my understanding of how that works. Now we will notice frame rate drops here. To be fair, that's the way it is in pretty much every MMO. Whenever you're in a major busy town, you're going to get frame rate drops, and it's not horribly bad. I'm getting like 40 frames a second now while recording. So it's definitely not terrible. And I have most things maxed. Not quite everything, but I have most things maxed out. We're not going to actually take that Black Arrow quest. I know what that is. That's something for crafting. So we're not going to take that. And I will cover things like crafting. The only thing I don't really plan to cover is, well, raids. Because I don't even know if I'm going to get that high a level. And 2, I don't know if I'm going to bother with a PvP. I might try it just to try it, but I never consider PvP a serious thing in most MMOs. So let's go talk to this guy. This guy is to do with some guild I think is important.
Look at this. If this is a gathering of the Undaunted, and you're about to become one of us, hope your ears are ready to bleed.
Nope. Wait, the
Put
what?
it together, Mutts! We've got a new scamp that's ready to risk life and limb for glory! And I say, we welcome the scamp as only we know how!
I could always use an assistant or a scribe to record my exploits.
I think the new blood could help me in the privy. I'm not supposed to lift anything heavy.
Oh,
You're
God.
looking pretty light from here, Felden. I propose a toast to the newcomer.
Here, here! A toast!
Aye, a toast and a song!
Here, here!
To those who fall in battle to the new scamp, how shameful it must be to look upon that ugly face as the last thing you see.
To those
Murder
who
them
fall
all.
in love with the scamp, for they have sacrificed so much for so little.
To the new scamp's blacksmith. Unused swords rarely need repair.
Fine toasts, one and all. Now, for the song.
Who knows no fear of beast or
Undaunted, undaunted.
Who knows no fear of Daedric plagues.
We are undaunted.
Who knows no fear of death, of age?
Undaunted! Undaunted!
We are
Undaunted!
You're a little off, guys. You gotta work on it.
Not bad. For a bunch of half-wit drunks. Ha! Take pride in being undaunted, scamp. Your deeds will live on long after your body fails.
Luvatar won't escape.
All right.
Trails in his wake.
That was interesting.
What are you looking at? And we're done. That's all there is to it. Welcome to the... What?
And there's a lot of extra text that you can go through. Again, I totally appreciate the extra effort. But we won't be showing that. And like I say, I usually just kind of blow through it. Which again, if it's a single player, I would totally watch. But otherwise, I'm just kind of like, meh. Alright. So we finished that quest up. The only thing I have left right now is this Warriors Guild quest. Hopefully we find some more. Because I ended up skipping a lot because I was over leveling everything. I was like level 10 and doing level 7 quests and getting very little experience. And honestly, it was frankly getting very boring because I was just blowing everything up with 2 spells. So it wasn't all that interesting. Oh, that little flying thing is my pet, by the way. You have different pets that you can summon. How far is this, by the way? Oh, yeah, no, we want to definitely use a waypoint to get over there. Let's go outside of town and then use a waypoint to get over there. But you have 5 skills, and this is probably one of my top complaints about the game, honestly. The 5 skill thing, like some people argue, like, oh, you have to put a lot more thought in your skills. Well, not really, because one, you can swap them out anytime that you're not in combat, and hell, maybe even when you're not in combat. But there's really, I don't know, it just feels very limiting, especially if you want to have a pet. That pretty much just takes a slot out of it, right? Because you're not really casting it in the middle of a fight. You just cast it once and you're done. Like, that's it. That's all the pet does. There's no pet control. Maybe if there was pet control, I think I would like it more. It's like, okay, well, it's not just a fire and forget it type thing. I accept it to control the pet. But I don't. I just cast it and it does its own thing. As far as I know, I don't think you can control the pet at all. I think it just does whatever it wants. I think. I need to double check into that, but I haven't seen like any pet controls or anything like that pop up. They do seem to try to limit how much... Well, that pet's slow. You'd think she'd be faster with wings. But she'll warp to us eventually. But yeah, the 5 skill thing feels pretty weak. Oh wow, there's a Sky Shard. Now, one thing about this game is that you have levels, but you also have skills. I should be able to make that without dying. Let's find. Oh, that's easy. You have levels and you have skills, and skills to up a level, you have to use skill points. Skill points you get from leveling, but you can also get them from doing certain quests. These Sky Shards, for every 3 Sky Shards you find, you also get a skill point. And they're not limited, they're not like random. There's like a set area where they will spawn. So like, for example, I didn't just steal the Sky Shrine from those people. It's just always there, and you get it. And it can be kind of fun to find them, but of course I was looking, this game does support mods, and the most popular mod was the one that just shows you where all the Sky Shards are. So not a lot of folks wanted to do the whole adventuring thing. Boom. And we'll talk about our skills here in just a little bit. But I want to go over skills, well, our in-combat abilities. But let's talk about skill points real quick, because we did get that message earlier about this Summon Storm Atronach. Now you have normal abilities. Every class has 3 like sub-trees here. For the Sorcerer, it's Dark Magic, Daedric Summoning, and Storm Calling. Generally, you want to spend like at least 1 point in each and get them on your skill bar so that you get experience with them whenever you finish quests, and I'll talk about that a bit later. But long story short, you spend a skill point to unlock an ability, and then that ability also levels, as well as the tree. So for example, let me try to explain that without being confusing as hell. Under class, you have Dark Magic, Daedric Summoning, and Storm Calling. As you can see here, each one of those also has a level. These are completely separate from my own personal level. This goes up theoretically from your use of Dark Magic, and this goes up from Daedric Summoning, etc. Realistically though, it seems to mostly go up based on if you have one of those skills in your menu bar when you finish a quest or when you level. It's very rare for me to see Dark Magic go up or something like that go up while I'm in combat. It might, and I just didn't notice it, so I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but I think it mostly comes out from quests. You definitely want to do quests to get your various skills up. Now, you also see that each skill has its own progress bar, which again is based on if it's your actual use of it and if it's in your skill bar. Now here we have Storm Atronach. This is a special ultimate ability. You basically build up kind of think of it almost as an adrenaline system, but it doesn't go away basically by fighting and killing enemies. It slowly goes up, and then when you get enough of it, you can use that ability, and it's way stronger than a lot of other things. So this one just basically summons a golem. Now it's maxed out. That means I can now morph it, which also takes a skill point. And there's always at least two options for a morph. So you have to pick which one you want to do. So this one, it looks like the new effect is the increased duration, damage, and health. And this one's different because it has a powerful area effect attack. I would much rather have it more health, damage, and duration because it doesn't seem to last very long. So how long does it last? And now, let's see, it's 8 seconds base. Oh no, that's something different. Oh, it's the duration. There it is, 25 seconds versus 18 seconds. That's not too bad. So yeah, let's go ahead and morph it, which again does take a skill point. You can see my skill points here. I've only got 1 skill point left. Now that's one of my big problems with having a skill system like this. Oh god, this might be bad. This might be bad. Ah, almost made it out. Wasn't paying attention. Let's go to the Way Shrine. Much as I hate to, because it's going to put us back a bit. The only really death penalty that I found. Let's go ahead and resummon our pet in case we need it. The only real death penalty I found is that it damages your armor. Your armor does have durability, so it can eventually break if you're not careful. Speaking of, I need to check that armor might need to be repaired. Regardless, that's one problem I have with the skill system is like I keep having points where I'll get a skill point, And I'm like, well, I don't really have anything interesting to buy because either my skills aren't that interesting. Do you learn anything? Damn, nope. You don't, like I said, you don't need to keep it open for any length of time. You just open it and close it, and if it's going to give you a skill point, or if it's going to give you a boost to one of your skills, it'll just do it. But yeah, I'm like, well, I don't have anything to buy, right? Because I like my abilities. And the next ones are just kind of boring. For example, dark magic. My ultimate, there's a different ultimate.
Injured on my first real mission.
Did you have a quest? Oh, I was gonna say. It's weird that he would talk and not have a mission.
I just arrived from Deshan. Dethesim sent me. Perhaps you've heard of him? He's the consul for the town of Circamora, the Cirque. I'm here to spread the word and warn people about the Lodos Plague. It is a terrible sickness that is ravaging the Deshan countryside. Look, I need to send word to my cousin Dandri. You can find her at the Cirque. Can you take this letter to my cousin? I'd appreciate it. Thanks for your help. Make sure you tell my cousin that I'm all right. If you head south, you won't be able to miss the Cirque.